The thing that I had a problem with and that I had to grow as a business owner and as an individual in was their us against the world mentality. You're either in or you're out. There's only one up, one way to get to the top, and this is it. And that's the biggest lie ever told. Hello, welcome back. Once again, Adam Reeker hanging out with my good friend and business partner, Brad Krantz, and we are going to continue talking about our journey being involved in Amway, and now we're moving toward why we exited Amway and what that looked like, okay?
Yeah. So I pulled up my Retro Excess Energy drink, guys. Hey, I just want to let people know up front, one, hey, we still use some of the products, some of the Neutralite products, we still like them, we use them. The SA soap, we love them. So this is not an attack against Amway Corporation, its products or services. This is really just one, it's our personal story, okay, factually based from a business standpoint. So this is not just a dump or a rant video against all the evils and all that against Amway. But I guess we could ask, number one, I mean, obviously it's our story, so we are free to share our views, which we're doing, but we do have business backing on why we're doing it. You're free to disagree with us. But I think also as a business, again, and I'm just going to say it again, as somebody who's been in business, and that you want to look at a business from an objective viewpoint. Nobody buys an apartment building or hotel just because somebody says, hey, it's a good deal, and they go, okay, let's do it. You look at some objective measures of a business. You know, is it the best opportunity? Guys, we're in America. There's a lot of opportunities out there. It is the land of opportunity. So you can't tell me there's only one opportunity in the entire US that's worth pursuing. But I also appreciate people's passion too. I get it. But is that passion based on some things we're going to talk about here? And I don't want to go real deep, but techniques of mind control, stuff used to basically keep you from thinking independently and having any dissent or trying to be objectively research this business. Now, Adam, obviously where we're at, from where I was at in 1991, you didn't have the internet. You couldn't get on Google and check it out and see all the things going on. We've got it today. But let's talk about some of the issues. And as I was just telling my wife, this is my story. I had a lot of personal angst, doubt, self-doubt, thinking I'm leaving my dream and I'm leaving people that I'd spent 14 years with. So it wasn't just an easy departure. Like I decided to leave and, oh, well, and I'm on the next thing. Honestly, I was deeply hurt for a long time, and it took me a number of years before I actually, guess what, went on the internet and started looking at a number of different viewpoints and finding out, well, some of the things that I've been taught or told weren't exactly true. And I want to talk about that here in a little bit. Adam?
Absolutely. You know, when you feel totally convinced that if you leave Amway, there's no other opportunity in your life that you're going to be successful at, something is wrong there, and someone caused you to feel that way on purpose. And it's not any one person, it's the collective group that puts that much pressure on you. The thing that I had a problem with and that I had to grow as a business owner and as an individual in was their us against the world mentality. You're either in or you're out. There's only one up, one way to get to the top, and this is it. And that's the biggest lie ever told.
Yeah, that's looking at my notes here, the kind of call it the totalitarian worldview. There's really, it's against a we-they syndrome. There is no other opportunity other than Amway. Amway's the best. The Diamond Lifestyle is number one, par excellence. And it's like, and when you look back objectively, compared to what, can you objectively demonstrate that? You know, as Bill Gates, I had an upline that honestly said this a number of times, that Bill Gates makes more money than me. He has a bigger financial statement, but he can't, his lifestyle doesn't hold a candle to mine. And now I'm calling bunk on that. That is absolutely not true. Bill Gates doesn't even work at Microsoft anymore. He's pulling out of that. I'm guaranteeing you his income's probably going up. If you quit working the Amway business, we've said that before, and I'm going to say it again. Prove me wrong, but it's a hard business to build. It's even harder to keep together if you quit working on it. That's why all these diamonds have to keep working and working their business, because if they don't, it starts going. It's like you're paddling uphill on a river. You quit paddling, you start going downhill. to me, that's not an opportunity of real financial security or what I would call financial freedom. Okay.
No. Yeah, there's no time freedom in it. It's a facade. And everything they do is pretty much a facade. I would say 90% of what you hear from stage when they're talking about their lifestyles and their income from Amway is a facade. But no one questions it because you're taught that your upline diamond is the end all be all, or your upline crown. That's it. Don't listen to any of these people because they're wrong and they're not going to have the lifestyle that you're going to have. But then you find yourself in for 14 years and you still don't have their lifestyle.
Yes, you're not looking at a business objectively. Obviously, they have very, charismatic leadership. Our upline at the time was executive and double diamond, and I'm not going to mention his name. Really kind of demanded almost an unquestioning obedience and with power and privilege too. And it was really almost like, I don't care what you think, I'm right, we're right. I mean, he had the audacity to say this. Now I cringe when I hear this, and he was either lying or he's really uninformed, but to get up there and say, the stock market is legalized gambling. I don't have any money in the stock market. All my money comes through Amway. Where do you put your money, Mr. So-and-so? Do you put it under your bed? Do you put it in a simple savings account? I mean, that, if you think about that objectively, that doesn't make much sense.
Nope, it doesn't make any sense at all, especially with the tax laws in the United States. If you are making that kind of money and you're not doing something else with it, you're a fool. You're a fool. But
yeah, so the charisma kind of picked up, at least I think in our organization with Worldwide, there's a lot of charisma. You look up to a lot of these people as like the know-it-alls. They're hyped as super smart. Another one, his brother, who's a double diamond, just super smart, quit medical school for this business. And he's a guru. He said, he subscribed to like 41 different business journals and economic papers. Okay. I mean, you're either a speed reader or whatever. I don't know how you read through all that stuff, but what does that mean? You've got not access to information, but do you really understand what that information? I mean, I'm just going to say this too, Adam, because our same upline at the time when Starbucks was struggling, this was in the early 90s, saying they hope Jeff Bezos made it. If they were really sharp and on top of things, in retrospect, you know what the best advice they could have given us? Buy stock in Amazon if they go public, because it's going to be a really good deal. Because I know that bought it at $4 a share. We all wish we did.
Yep.
Why didn't you give that advice out? Because
it's all about, and this is where the cult-like behavior happens. Mm-hmm. It's all about control. They control they literally control what goes in. Because why? Why else would they have the tapes, the CDs, the books? Number one, it's because we've already talked about that's a big income stream for them. But they know what's on that stuff. When you hear something over and over and over and over again, it becomes reality in your mind, also known as brainwashing. And actually, they had some really funny little catchphrases, because somebody would bring up, man, my mom told me not to get involved in this. They said you're going to brainwash me. And my upline Emerald would always say, yeah, that's true. But when I got in, my brain needed some washing. And they turn around and make it like a positive little snarky thing. But the fact of the matter is, they were all about control. They'd call you in the morning, see if you brushed your teeth, weird stuff like that. When you have to call into your organization every single month, call every person asking them to order products, that's not something I want to be I want to ever be involved in again. But that shows the control, and that they don't actually tell people to have free will. Like, I would just jump on command for like a year there while my business wasn't growing, spend the money I didn't have, because when I was with this group, which, by the way, one of their rules was associate at all costs, be at everything, be at the open meetings, be at the night out, be at the function, be at the barbecue Sunday, go to your upline's house 2-3 nights a week. And
never miss a function, right? Never miss a function.
So that's all you're doing, is just getting this stuff pounded into your head.
Yeah.
And then when you're supposed to, like a normal person would be sleeping, you're supposed to be listening and reading, somehow contacting people and pitching them at this whole time. It's a full-time job to brainwash people, and that's what they do.
Yeah. And I want to talk about, Adam, you talked about buying the price. We weren't pushed to call people, but you were expected, if you were serious, to do a 300 PV circle, okay, or you're not serious. Well, nobody asked, hey, can you guys, does that work with your budget? Does that make financial sense for us? Because in retrospect, that made no financial sense for us. And long-term, it put us in a big hole debt-wise, because it wasn't, we had a hole in our budget, and I guess it wasn't all these other things. It was our budget for our Amway business and doing that 300 PV circle, which was about $600 cost.
Crazy. $600 for that. Then you've got your audio books and tapes. In a month of a function, you're spending probably $2,500 to go have your products go to the function, have a hotel room, get a bus ticket. I'm assuming your team took buses, right?
We did not. No, we did, most of our functions were in Portland or Spokane, so we could drive there.
So what happened on my team was we had always leave out of Omaha and we'd get on big buses and we'd go to Nashville, Tennessee. It's about a 14-hour drive one way. And on the way back, after you just went through, the emotional roller coaster they take you on at these functions, then we're asked to stay up all night on the ride back and do a bus night out. But really, it's just like the bus leader, just spewing the same stuff that you've heard over and over and over again. And when you're dead dog tired and you haven't slept for 4 days and someone keeps saying the same thing to you, that is a form of brainwashing. And
I experienced that with the functions. There was very little time for downtime. You'd go to a major function, say Portland, for instance, a leadership or family reunion, and you're there, you're at a function till 10, 11, midnight at night. You got to get up to go to this at 5 or 6 in the morning. Then you're up all day again. You get about an hour break for lunch. Then you had about an hour break for dinner. You're back up till midnight, and then you're supposed to go to the Sunday service. At some point, I say, I got to sleep. And you're sitting, I remember many times, Adam, sitting up there with I was a good downline. I was obedient. I had my notepad. I had my tape recorder. I'm trying to listen to the guy, and I can barely keep awake because I'm just dead dog tired. And I'm not really, honestly, I'm not enjoying the function, but I'm doing what I've been told to do, not just listen to it or sit there and record it, but I'm trying to take notes, tape it, and listen to the speaker.
Amazing. It's amazing.
Nobody does that stuff in business, guys. I just want to say all the night owl stuff, that's okay. But Bill Gates, Warren Buffett lives in your neighborhood, Michael Dell, anybody, their goal isn't to stay up as late as they can with everybody they know. You only do that in the Amway business. That's so abnormal to normal business. I'm going to rant on that a bit. That really does that make a lot of sense. People in normal business don't do that. It's not normal.
Well, and that's where I keep going back to the facade piece. Okay, why is it that people will do all of those things religiously for years? Why? Because of the facade lifestyle they're telling you can have, and it's just flat out not real. Like they do such an amazing job of painting this beautiful picture, and all they ever do is paint the picture. You never really get any closer. They just keep painting it, of what your life's going to look like, what your life's going to look like, what your life's going to look like. And they consistently tell the story, man, somebody that quits tomorrow when the next day they would have found their first diamond. Well, according to who? I ain't found one in 4 or 5 years. I don't think I'm going to find one the day after I quit. But that's the type of stuff they say to you that messes with your emotions.
Right, that quitting is you're really losing out on something. But I want to kind of dovetail. You were talking about the facade, but deception is a element of cultic behavior. Now, again, we're not calling Amway a cult or organizations, but there's certain aspects of what they teach that are very cult-like and deception. We've talked about it before, and I don't think they've changed this now. Prove me wrong, but the money was not made through Amway. It was made through the motivational organization, the books, the tapes, and the functions. Folks, you can call it whatever you want, spin it however way, but that is deception. If the money's not made through the compensation plan you're being showed, but they're making the lion's share or more somewhere else, that Adam, for me, when I started reading about that years after I left the business, I was disheartened and I was angry because I realized I had lied to. I had been lied to that the money wasn't in Amway's compensation plan, but it was through the system that the bulk of their monies were made. That, guys, that's deception. Okay, pure and simple.
So this is the stuff and the reason why people stay in for years and years and years. It's because of the control tactics that you don't even know they're doing to you. So this is why Brad stayed in longer than he should have, why I stayed in longer than I should have. And as we wrap up this series, we're going to start to talk about when enough was enough and when we regained our freedom and our self-respect back and said, see you later, I'm moving on to better things, because that's a whole talk right there and how that process went. But as far as just the group pressure, where where you really wanted to look good and fit in for people, instead of going to learn and become a better entrepreneur, really learn how to market, it was more important just to show up and fake like you were good. Nobody on my team was actually the person behind closed doors that they were when they were with their upline. And I guarantee you the uplines are a totally different person behind closed doors. It's a double life that goes on, and you can't do business that way. You certainly can't live that way. And it happens in the masses in that company. At least that was my experience, Brad.
Yeah. Well, I think you're right. The group pressure, but the love bombing, you know, you get love. You're quote unquote accepted unconditionally. The hugs and everybody, hey buddy, good high fives, good to have you here. Hey, you're a winner, all that. But you know, some of it, guys, there is a difference. You got to distinguish between flattery and true empathy, right? You don't want to blow smoke like, you know, Adam, when you were telling me, and nothing against you now, but when that gal said, boy, I thought you were a sharp business owner. Dude, you're in jeans and a t-shirt.
Yep.
Are you kidding me?
Yep.
Really?
Yep.
I mean,
it's amazing. I wouldn't have sponsored me. Like today,
yeah, I mean,
me today, looking at me back then, no way I'm even talking to that kid.
Yeah, that guy's not a business owner. He's probably a pothead or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah. And so that's the thing, man. When you're feeling like that and you're feeling accepted,
yeah,
they can flip that on a dime if you do something they don't like. So you can find yourself on the outside now apologizing for something you shouldn't have to apologize for to get back in their good graces, to feel that love again. That is manipulation.
Yeah, and I won't go into big detail on this, but I had a situation where I was supposed to hit a goal and I didn't, and I got chewed out by my oldest daughter over it, who was probably 10 or 12 at the time.
Amazing.
And how badly that hurt me, guys. So if that stuff's happening again, that is not a real business. That's not a solid business. Those type of things do not happen. I'm a breadwinner. We're struggling. I'm going to work every day, and I'm also building a business. But now because I didn't hit a goal that I set, I get to get dressed down by my oldest daughter. And that really hurt. I mean, I can't tell you how bad that hurt.
I can hear the pain in your voice every time you've mentioned that. I cannot imagine going through that. But
that's weird, guys. There's something really demented about that. If that's okay to have somebody call you out and dress you down for not hitting a goal, is that going to motivate you? It's just like the word, and I'm going to use this because I don't like this, people call it constructive criticism. Those are oxymorons. You can't constructively criticize somebody. You can give people input or feedback or uplift them, but you can't constructively criticize somebody, guys. That's a misnomer. We got to stop. We got to stop that.
Yeah, it gets down to a point to where when it's emotionally draining you, sometimes that has to happen for you to make the decision to say, I'm not taking this forward with me in my life. Amway's staying here. I'm moving on. Our message is that, hey, it's a big, beautiful industry out there. Amway is not a good opportunity. I'm just going to say that straight away. But it doesn't mean there's nothing else, because if you're stuck in Amway right now and you're in our shoe, or where we were saying, man, if I leave, I'm never going to have an opportunity to chase my dreams and live that life. I'm telling you, stop believing lies, because the truth of the matter is there's some really cool opportunities out there. Brad and I are fortunate to have met each other online, and one of them, and we continue to help and bless and serve people every single day to have a lot of emotional scar tissue from starting out in that business. Okay. And we're here to tell you it's going to be okay.
Yeah, we're just, again, I want to reiterate, guys, this is America. It's the land of opportunity. People want to come over here from foreign countries. I talk to them all the time because they know how well we've got it, guys. And I'll just say, for instance, real quick, with COVID-19, we don't have the shutdown like they do in other countries where they're closed down from 7 p.m. to 5 a.m. If the police catch you out on the street, they beat you, and their government can't support them. They are literally closed down. They can't make income, and they don't have any money. We have opportunity here, guys. There's a lot of solid, credible opportunities in here. Where our pleading for you is, please don't sell yourself short. Think the first one you came across with, or the one with Amway attached to it, is necessarily the best, because I think we can show you from a business standpoint, it's not really what I would consider a premier opportunity. Maybe back when it started in the 60s, 70s, and 80s, it may have been for a network marketing opportunity, guys, but there's been so many new entrants, solid companies coming into the market that, like who we work with, Janess, that have changed the ball game. They've changed the face of the industry, and they are the leaders now in the industry. They're moving where the industry is growing right now, right, Adam?
Hey man, you said it all right there. And we couldn't be more excited to partner and still chase our dreams in a business that actually grows. It grows and grows, guys. So
Yeah.
I think what we're going to do, we'll wrap up here and have one more segment. And I think we can tell our story about when enough was enough.
Yeah.
And then saying I'm done and leaving, and maybe some things that happened to us right after we left based on that decision.
Yeah.
I've got a couple of good
Yeah.
stories on that one I'd love to share with everybody. So
Absolutely.
again,
Guys, thanks for tuning in.
yes, thank you so much for hanging out with me again, and we'll talk to you very soon, okay?
All right, guys. Bye-bye.